Yeah, Jack Byrne, Man City attacking midfielder, and Patrick Vieira, I think, compared him to Paul Scholes at one point. Comparisons can be pretty unfair in terms of a player, but he is a midfielder who's been pretty highly regarded since he was a teenager. He's in the Irish under 21 squad now. He's been promoted into it. He's creative. An eye for goal. Was had a pretty good goal scoring record in the UEFA Youth Champions League last year. The problem is he's at a club where it's difficult to break in, and he's sort of reaching that uncomfortable crossroads that a lot of players have been at before. Like Robbie Brady, like Connor Clifford, guys at top clubs trying to figure out, are they actually going to play, or are they going to have to move elsewhere for their development? And the others that we mentioned have had mixed results. So Byrne is at that crossroads now. He's 19. It's a big year for him this year. Yeah, Darragh Lenihan's 21, and probably should have been on people's radar before now. He's just very unlucky that he went across from Belvedere to Blackburn. That it was just pretty much lost a year, more than a year with injuries, and it set him back a bit. Now he did get into the Blackburn side towards the end of the championship season. He was called back from loan when they had a few injury problems, and he's actually a midfielder, but he covered in defence. He played the last day of the season against Ipswich in a live TV game. Was pretty impressive. He's athletic, good attitude. Everyone who you speak to about him seems to think he's a real good worker, sort of a bright enough kid. So he's someone who I think wants to play at Blackburn next year, and if he doesn't, again, he's in that awkward scenario. What happens next? But he's a player to watch. Yeah, Tommie Hoban, English born defender at Watford, who could be a Premier League regular next year. Certainly someone that will play Premier League games. The fact that Watford changed their manager all the time probably doesn't help. But he's a defender, primarily played in a three-man defence for Watford last year. He broke in a couple of years back, then broke his ankle, missed a year. So he's been a bit unlucky, but he's been in the Irish under 21 squad with Darragh Lenihan and Jack Byrne. And we'll see. I mean, he certainly has got a lot of first team experience, but we'll see where he fits into Watford's vision next year. But he's quite comfortable on the ball for a centre half, and he's someone that he's got a chance. Darrell Horgan's the oldest one we mentioned. He's 22, and he's a bit different. He's more so in the bracket of the late League of Ireland developer who was at Sligo, he was at Cork. He's from Galway, but it's really since he's gone to Dundalk the last two seasons that he's improved and improved. And he's a left-sided player. Makes great runs. He's started to score goals on a regular basis this season. I mean, Richie Towell is the star name at the club, and I'm sure he's going to go across the water. But Horgan's improving too, and clubs are coming to watch him now. And he could be just one of these guys who, the penny's dropped. And although he's 22, he could have a bright future ahead of him if he can continue to improve at the rate that he has in the last 18 months.